Live.
All right,
Yeah, we're live.
I see it now.
All
Wait,
right, Matty
go
D.
ahead. Oh, you ready?
Oh, yeah, we're on. We're live. You kick
Okay.
it off, brother.
All right, man. No. So what I was bringing up before was last night the House of Representatives signed this bill that basically it's like you can call it like they just jump started World War III. Like they kind of just took the really big first step to actually do it. They everything is actually based to
All right, Matty D.
what's up?
No, it was just my speakers confusing the microphone. Go on.
Sorry about that.
No, that was my fault.
I didn't know what was going on. I'm gonna pull it up right now. I should have had it ready before. But no, they signed these bills that basically we totally isolated Russia right now, completely. We told them basically everybody signed this. It was like maybe two senators that didn't sign it. That they all right. I'm just instead of pulling it up, I'll just tell you. They're now telling them to completely get out of Crimea, give Crimea completely back, stop being aggressive. All your aggressive actions need to stop. They're, oh man, dude, it's just unreal. You haven't heard any of that. It was from last night. It was so aggressive. I gotta pull it up. I gotta recite it word for word for you.
Hmm.
Here
Yeah,
it is.
read away. Yeah.
NDAA bill. NDAA bill. Let me get this. I'm pulling it up right now. Yeah, so right here they're telling them to stop funding the rebels. The rebel funding has to completely stop. Stop doing all your aggressions. Give up Crimea
Mm-hmm.
and pull back all your assets out of Russia. I mean, out of Ukraine. I'm sorry, I'm telling Russia to do that. So they just signed that bill last night. Dude, that's it.
You know, you know, I only, I was, I don't know, man. I wasn't even paying attention, I guess, when the whole Crimea thing went down, and yeah, I knew it was going down. I mean, I don't listen to radio and what have you, and I heard what was going down and people talking about Russia making this, you know, this power play, this move, and I didn't really have any insight into any of it, you know. And I didn't really give a shit. Like I was like, okay, yeah, just Russia's doing their thing. But I didn't know what I didn't know was what was going on behind the scenes with how our government went and put in a goddamn Nazi organization in control of Ukraine. And now I have no reason to believe that Russia's in the wrong for taking Crimea. Like, however they
They
took.
didn't really even take it. They got voted. The
No,
Crimea
they got voted in. Absolutely, yeah, totally.
95%. Actually, do you want to hear this report? You want to hear the RT? She could actually tell you exactly. It's 4 minutes if you want to hear some of it. I mean, you can hear.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, shoot. Yeah.
The U.S. House of Representatives has overwhelmingly passed a resolution lashing out at Russia over its foreign policies.
Resolution strongly condemning the actions of the Russian Federation under President Vladimir Putin, which has carried out a policy of aggression against neighboring countries aimed at political and economic domination.
The language of the non-binding document has been widely equated by critics towards that of a Cold War-style rhetoric. RT's Guyane Chichikan now assessing the diplomatic falling out between America and Russia.
President Biden and I have been saying, and that is, we want to reset our relationship. And so we will do it together, okay?
All right, can you hear it? Do you see that? I put it on screen share. Did you see it?
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure. I'll keep playing it because I didn't know if you knew that was Hillary. All right, let me play it.
In a matter of a few years, U.S.-Russia relations went from this
Today, the Cold War is over.
to President Obama putting Russia in a group with Ebola and ISIS in his ranking of international threats.
We're leading and dealing with Ebola in West Africa and in opposing Russia's aggression against Ukraine.
How did we get here? In 2011, when Russia did not oppose the UN Security Council resolution to protect civilians in Libya, Moscow did not expect that the NATO operation would result in Colonel Gaddafi's killing. As we came, we saw, he died.
I hate her.
Soon afterward, Russia and the US found themselves at the heads over Syria, with Moscow opposing a military intervention. America's interference during the Ukrainian uprising last year seemed to have caught Moscow by surprise.
Well, it's amazing that the man who promised hope and change didn't deliver on hope at all and didn't change anything when it comes to foreign policy. The foreign policy at the State Department remained virtually the same as under Bush the younger, and one might even argue under Bush the elder and Reagan. It's the same people and their disciples who kept the continuum of policy towards Russia and Europe and other places in the world as well. This is not an exception, it's rather the rule.
Russia's response to the revolution in Ukraine, in turn, seems to have caught the U.S. by surprise. The tension between the U.S. and Russia peaked. The lower chamber of Congress passed a resolution that many call a declaration of war against Russia.
There you go.
The resolution, among other things, called to reinforce NATO against Russia, to arm Ukraine, and to export U.S. natural gas to European countries so that they stop buying energy from Russia. How can a resolution like this possibly contribute to making things better?
It can't. It won't. It's not designed to make things better.
Oh, the world's not designed.
All right.
The world's not designed for that. All right. What is it designed for? That's the question. That's awesome.
I mean, yeah, I know that's RT, but that's exactly what they did last night. That was last night, and you don't see any of this. That's why in my one video I made today, I was like, I can't stand this. So I made that video calling out MSN, and I said mainstream news is a joke. And when I showed you exactly what's on your top feeds, white on black killing, Bill Cosby, I was surprised they had the stuff that they're pulling the homeless people out of Silicon Valley in California. That shocked me.
I'll tell you something, man. Like these assholes, whoever it is in control of the media, that they want us distracted about the what as opposed to the why. They want us going and having arguments about what the bits are, and it's really funny because if we all looked into the why and then the motivation, then we get closer to the truth. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, let me tell you what this. Another one of my subscribers, he shared with me this, which I was actually very, very shocked at. I'm gonna open it up. I'm opening up right now. This is archive.org, and this is Eric Holder, our Attorney General. You know, even though he resigned, he's still there right now. Eric Holder and the FBI's quoting Patriot Conspiracy, in parentheses, PatCon False Flag Terror Program 2011 preview. Here, let me pull this up for you so you can see this. Let me get this.
Yeah. Play away.
All right, you see this? Now, I haven't listened to this. I haven't listened to it yet because I was at work.
All right, well, everyone, you heard it here first.
And right here, it's about 24 minutes. I mean, let's just listen to what it says. I haven't had a chance to play it. I'll play it right now. And you can see these other links too. He sent me another one too. I had something else too, but it's just here. Let me scroll down so you can get an idea. Wait, all right. Yeah, this is generated M3U. It says right here. Audio files is Eric Holder and the FBI Patriot Conspiracy PatCon Terror Program 2011 December 27th. All right, let's see what it says. I'm curious, man. I've been waiting to hear this.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the show. It's Anti-War Radio. I'm Scott Horton. And I'm joined on the phone once again by Jesse Trenadu. He's a lawyer from Salt Lake City, Utah. Welcome back to the show. Jesse, how are you doing?
I'm fine, Scott. Thank you for having me.
Well, good. I'm very happy to have you here. Happy holidays to you and all those things, New Year's and all that. Let me give them the very quick version, and then you fill in whatever you absolutely need to, but I just wanted to try to catch everybody up on the story real quick if they hadn't heard it, and that is that Jesse's brother, Kenneth, was tragically, apparently tortured to death in federal government custody in a jail in Oklahoma in August, I think it was, of 1995. And they didn't get away with covering up how he died because...
Actually, wasn't that like just at, was that before or after the Oklahoma City?
Not sure. I remember the Oklahoma bombing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was talking about.
But I'm to stitch together the events, we'd have to actually digress a little more. But yeah, go on.
No, I want to hear this. Is I'm like actually really curious.
Yeah, no, me too.
A lawyer and knew how to jump through all the right hoops to get the body and to enjoin the legal process in order to try to get as much information as he could, and basically stumbled into the Oklahoma City bombing story because it seems, and maybe more than seems, I don't know if this has been absolutely nailed down, but at the very least it seems as though the reason that Kenneth Trentadue was tortured to death by federal cops was because they thought he was someone else. It was a case of mistaken identity. They thought he was Richard Lee Guthrie, who is a suspect in the Oklahoma City bombing, who's now also dead, died in a jail cell separately. But Kenneth apparently fit the description. Same color hair, same dragon tattoo, same pickup truck, coming back from Mexico like Guthrie would have thought to have been coming back from Mexico, that kind of thing. And in this case...
Totally sounds like an asshole, eh?
Background to the story.
That's what they make him sound like to be. But, you know what I mean.
Oklahoma City bombing, and et cetera like that. Is that basically a correct thumbnail sketch there, Jesse?
That is accurate.
So I kind of rambled on. I definitely could have made it shorter and sweeter than that. But anyway. So at issue now, one big part of this story is that Senator Orrin Hatch, who is a very powerful Republican senator from Utah and was, I guess, the head of the Senate Reform Committee or whatever they call the Senate version of it, and he was, I believe, prepared to hold hearings into what happened to your brother Kenneth, and then somehow those hearings never materialized. Is that correct?
That's correct. He was the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee.
He
called it a murder. He called it a cover-up. He announced hearings, and then suddenly all talk of hearings disappeared. And we now know that was due to the efforts of then Deputy Attorney General Eric Holder. Mr. Holder was the Deputy Attorney General under the Reno Clinton Justice Department.
And now I have here, there was a story that came out, I'm sorry, I don't have the website in front of me anymore. A news story here had a link to your letter to, I believe, Patrick Leahy on the confirmation of Eric Holder, why he should not be confirmed as Attorney General. And here you attach, in this PDF format, here these actual documents from the Department of Justice that you got through your various lawsuits based on your brother's case. So can you please explain to us what exactly is in here, what exactly you know for sure about Eric Holder's role in this?
Well, Eric Holder's name's all over those emails, and they're from the highest levels of the Department of Justice. Mr. Holder was orchestrating the efforts to put pressure on Senator Hatch not to have hearings. He referred to it as the Trentadue mission. He described it as more complicated than coordinating the invasion of Normandy.
Those are Eric Holder's words.
From his Justice Department, yes. And Eric's name is all over. They refer to him as the Deputy Attorney General Eric. And he was set up to, his staff was setting up a meeting with Senator Hatch to kill any inquiry into my brother's murder by the Senate Judiciary Committee. And you have to ask yourself, why would they be that concerned about the death of a parole violator in the federal system?
Right, after all, I mean, if it's just a matter of prosecuting a local prison guard who got out of hand or something like that, why would they...
Wait a minute. Did you just say pro violator?
Yeah.
conclusion is that as I
guess some are better than others, eh?
years.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's some dirt. I mean, that's almost 5 minutes. I want to play the whole thing. I mean, I'll email you the links, bro. I'll send you the links that these guys sent me, and we can attach them to this video once it's over.
Absolutely, yeah. Send the links away. Yeah, post them. Even on the when this thing gets rendered and then put on YouTube. Go ahead and throw it in the comments too.
Yeah, I definitely will. I mean, it's I want to listen to the rest of it myself, and I saw the other links. If you saw it, that was actually going to the Oklahoma City cover up, all that too. I mean, that's just unreal because I mean, this is Eric Holder, the same guy who's saying he wants to. If you've seen the video, he's on video of saying he wants to, basically brainwash people into thinking differently of guns. Is the same Attorney General under Sandy Hook, and he said his biggest failure to himself when he announced his resignation was that he couldn't get better gun control laws passed after Sandy Hook. When I heard that, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You need from everything else that you're running from, the Fast and Furious scandals, Benghazi cover-ups, not going after the bankers who caused the financial crash because you're saying that, what? They're just too big to go after and it'll cause an economic crash? What are you... We're on the verge of another one. It's going to be even worse.
Matty, could you tell everybody where are you from?
I'm from Jersey, man, New Jersey.
You're from New Jersey. I'm traveling across the country, and I'm in Regina in Canada. And, the things they do, I mean, like Sandy Hook, like you brought that up. That's just the tip of the iceberg, mate.
That one
really is.
That made me sick. When I found out what really was going on, that made me sick. Because I remember even my nephew who lives out in Kansas, he was what? This was like 2 years ago. He was 11 going on 12. I mean, he was crying. I mean, I knew people running home to their kids, grabbing them, crying.
Yeah. And you know what? The same shit's going down here. I mean, the Moncton shooting, the Parliament shooting. Like, false flags out the wazoo, and I have it on good authority that the exact same people are responsible. Like, whoever's organizing this it's those cocksuckers in Buckingham Palace, as far as I'm concerned.
It's disgusting, man. And that Nazi bill is even more disgusting. I posted that on one of the RT links, one of the RT videos. I was actually commenting while I was waiting for you to email me this the invite. I posted a link of the Nazi bill there, and he goes, "Oh, but that was just put out there to tar the entire thing from Russia's side as they're doing all this and blah 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 blah." And I'm like, he made some good points, but not that stuff. And I just said, well, let's just remember, Prescott Bush empowered Hitler, all right? I was like, we created the Nazi regime. We created communism. We created jihadism. We created every goddamn problem that's in the world, and we are trying to freaking say that we got to save everybody from.
Are you talking about the wee or the editorial wee? Which wee are we talking about?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry, I spoke at the same time. What did you say?
No, I said which wee are we talking about? The editorial we or the real we?
I'm talking about these assholes running the show and doing it in the name of behind America's freaking wealth and power of the people that we had. I mean, they used patriotism to something that was totally created by the elite, by these dirtbags. With the Federal Reserve. I mean, just to create the Federal Reserve, they had to go in complete secret. I mean, people still don't. They think the Federal Reserve is actually run by the government.
They think it's run by the look at Federal Express.
Yeah, Bruce just came in, I think.
Hey, who's that?
Bruce.
That's me.
What's up?
Oh, not much. Just had a few seconds, so I'd stop in and see what you're up to.
Hey, we're just BSing about some history right now, and we're just listening to some Eric Holder stuff, exposing him. Started drifting that way, and then we started talking about the Sandy Hook crap, and just going on to Nazi creation, communism creation.
Well, I think it's probably undeniable that we live under a fascist regime, and we don't even know it. And now I'm talking about the actual we, the us, and we don't. Well, the awake we know, but how many people would say, "Oh no, you're full of shit. You're fucking lying." But I mean, the UN resolution that got passed to condemn Nazis by Russia, by the way, but that's a power play by Russia. And I'm not saying we're not all dicks here in this case, but yeah, it's funny to see 3 countries come up and vote no against condemning Nazis and being America, America, Canada, and Ukraine. Like, and then 55 other fucking countries are sitting on the fence. Not going to answer.
Not home right now. All right, cool.
Oh, I just did. So Bruce,
sorry. Hey. I was just gonna say, like, I think the issue is really about it's really not about being a Nazi or not being a Nazi. It's about whether or not you want to legislate someone's lifestyle away. It's about freedom. So if I would be sitting on the fence too, because I'd be going, well, do I really want to say that you can or can't be a Nazi? Because then can I say then that you can or can't be a Catholic? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I follow you. And, the only thing I can say about that is that I've already determined that, I don't know, I processed the information and I kind of came to the conclusion that we fought in World War II to destroy the Nazi regime, but really we didn't. What we did was stop a proliferation of expansion. And in the process, somehow, I'm not sure, it could have been through Operation Paperclip, which is about retrieving the scientists and in World War II from Germany and the Nazis. Yeah, well, maybe none of that has ended. Maybe we're using them as tools. Maybe we're using them as tools for U.S. and NATO expansion through Central Europe. And right now, everything is getting singled down now to 2 sides. You got your BRIC campaign, with Russia primarily, and then NATO and the EU. And I can't blame Russia for arming its borders and also arming the Arctic Circle. I mean, hey, because of global warming, which is a whole nother issue on its own, but now there's a lot more resources that are available. So, you know what? Hey, hats off to Russia for taking that. However, I'm not a supporter, by the way, just for the fucking record, I'm not a supporter of Russia or the U.S. or Canada for that matter, and I live here. They're all dicks. But
I think the idea of nationalism is dying.
Yeah, we are the cattle. We are not the players in this. We are just the observers, and we are the heavy lifters. We're the ones that are removing the things out of the ground, and we're doing all the heavy lifting. All they're doing is basically calling out orders and fucking with our minds,
trying to cover their own asses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of this is happening because socially, like on a global scale, we're moving away from having nations. I can talk to somebody like you where I don't even know where you are. Like, you could be in fucking China. Okay, so how is that like? I can feel that I am connected to you, and yet we're not in the same nation. So, like, to me, the idea of nationality served its purpose, and it's about to die.
Yeah.
And like all of this stuff, this political maneuvering and stuff, like all it is a last-ditch attempt to hang on to power, because the real power is in communication. And with the internet and with Facebook and with Hangouts, communication is available to almost everybody.
I one thing that rattles my fucking brain is this, and it's the fact that we're capable of doing this in a world that apparently is against us. But
but can you blame them?
But well, what? They're providing us tools to coordinate and go against them. Do you understand what I mean?
I think that was an undesired side effect.
Maybe
because I mean, the internet itself was built for the ARPANET. It was built for the military.
Yeah, ARPANET. That's right.
To communicate better over like long distances and
after
on
nuclear war,
whatever. So basically, they built those tools to protect themselves, but at the same time, we found another use for those tools, and we found something else. We found that the information itself doesn't want to be changed. It doesn't want to be imprisoned. So when 1 million people are online, and 5% of them are hackers, how easy do you think it's going to be to keep your secrets? And then if you're a big nation with a lot of secrets, of course they're going to try to protect themselves.
Yeah.
You see what not to cut you off, Rob, but I mean, do you see what Brazil's doing, China, Russia? They're all building their own internet infrastructures to get away from us to be safe. I mean, look at China
and protect themselves. Yeah, partly.
See, they don't want to be with us. I mean, they don't want to be on our lines. They don't want the NSA up their ass.
Actually, it's very related to how China and their space program, they've launched their own GPS system. I mean, GPS got launched in 1998, or 1997 actually, it was, or 6 maybe. But anyway, it was used by the military, and when it went to the consumer level, it was purposefully faulty. It was only accurate to like 100 feet or 100 meters or whatever the fuck. But right. The point is that now, like, to combat that, China and their space program, they've launched their own GPS satellites, and other countries are following suit. I mean, I judge a country's ability by their space program.
Okay.
And
yeah.
And really, these are the factors, and we already know that, like, well, Russia, they launched Sputnik before we went to the moon, or supposedly went to the moon. So I mean, if you just look at the building blocks of our history in that sense, GPS and that kind of technology is the basis, or the fundamental basis, of the ability of a country or nation to go after someone else. And it freaks the shit out of everyone.
Advances in technology, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. But at the same time, like, I think that inevitably, the more people talk and the more these tools get made, the government hasn't even realized yet that NSA, whatever, like, if people in the NSA can find out shit on the internet, then those people, their skill sets aren't unique. Like, there are people who are not in the NSA who can do the exact same thing.
Exactly. So, actually, probably most of the people in the NSA were probably hired from that circle.
Exactly. Yeah. And in fact, NSA used to go to hacker conventions all the time until they got banned last year, whenever Snowden was. They got banned from going to hacker conventions because they used to go there to recruit.
Yeah, now look, blaming the world to hacking us. They're saying, like, Iran has, like, elite, China has elite, North Korea has elite. Like, really?
China definitely has elite. I know that for sure.
But at the same time, too, they built the most encrypted infrastructure right now. It's unbreakable. Like, the thing is that I laugh at is, like, they're telling us all this, and yet they're all going away from us. They are all going away from us. and they're telling us we're being attacked. We're any day now, any day.
Yeah. Look out.
Well, it's about.
Oh, it just happened. It just happened in Ottawa with the Parliament shooting, and it was completely fabricated. Hey, it's proof positive false flag, and even certain details like with the CBC. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Bruce. Just hold your thought, man.
No problem.
But yeah, like the CBC actually redacted their statements when they went on about the 9 bullet holes in the chamber there, and that was only because somebody else did the research and found a 2013 Google tour map of the Parliament building, and the fucking bullet holes are right there in the wall. And then,
Rob, what was that redact? Because I've heard everybody said that it was redacted, but I never seen what the redact was.
Actually, you know what? I used the word redacted because it was a lot less syllables than a fucking sentence statement. Actually, they went and fucked it up completely. What they went and did is just change their story. But
they retracted it.
But what did they say? What was their story change?
No. They went and said that Mr. Vickers went and dumped all of his bullets into the guy's chest. He didn't miss. They didn't even make reference to the wall.
There's no way. Someone empties 9 bullets into someone's chest.
By the way, first time he ever actually used his weapon in his entire career. Oh, Andy's retired.
Yeah, and somehow, he emptied 9 bullets in someone's chest, and there wasn't blood all over the place in his chest.
Oh, no, none at all. And there's
he put each one of those bullets in the same hole, pretty much.
And there's no forensic data. Nobody even has any camera footage of them pulling out Zehaf Bibao out of there. It's pretty ridiculous.
It's pretty funny though that people like when you say like something like that was fake, they get right upset about it. And the thing is that historically speaking, especially the American government has been wagging the dog for like almost 100 years. They have a history of it. Like Pearl Harbor, everyone thinks Pearl Harbor was a huge tragedy. Pearl Harbor was a setup.
Hell yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it was a setup.
One of the first fucking false flags. Absolutely.
People had them penned in. They had them penned in.
That's like 9/11.
On both sides.
That's like 9/11.
And the Japanese reacted, and that was exactly what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
It was a reason for the Americans to get into the war, and they didn't have anything else that was big enough to pull them in because all the businesses were backing the Germans, IBM, fucking Ford. They were all backing
Ford, motherfucker. All of them, they all were. Even Vietnam. Vietnam was a complete false flag too. And who was over in the Soviet Union donating millions and millions? David Rockefeller. And
I was going to say, Matty, hold on. I was going to say, but I was just trying to cut in. But hey, and before the Americans, before Pearl Harbor got into World War II, they were doing a program which was to build arms for gold, and they were taking all of the Allied countries' gold to build tanks and weapons, but not at certain troops.
World War,
yeah.
And they drove the tanks through the bank walls.
That's right. And then Pearl Harbor happens, and continue on, Matty. I'm done.
Well, no, that's actually why I told you also about when I saw your video from Free Radio that I hit you up. I went to your video and I told you about the gold thing with the Germany, Ukraine. I mean, we are stealing everybody's gold. The Dutch pulled all their gold out of our Federal Reserve. Other countries are pulling their gold out.
That's right. Yeah, that's a big thing. That's a big deal. Yep.
We don't have their gold. We spent a lot of their people's gold. We are digging the gold up like crazy. I think Sierra Leone is the largest right now, and Mali is the third. And look where they're saying Ebola is. I mean, look at Nigeria. Did you guys see in Nigeria? Bruce, are you from the U.S. or Canada?
Canada.
Canada? All right. I don't know if you saw in the BS news that, they said that over in Africa that actually Nigeria kicked the United States military out. They were supposed to do training, and they said, get the hell out of here. We're done with you. And they actually posted, it was on the MSN site, and that the U.S. was very shocked that they kicked them out. I'm like, I'm not shocked. I'm like, I can show you links right now that they've been asking Russia for help and telling you to get the hell out of there with your Boko Haram crap. They're like, give us weapons to fight Boko Haram. No. Let us in there. No, because we know what you want to do. They want to overthrow Nigeria so bad. Nigeria kicked them the hell out. And who's really big and really deep and funded with backing them? China, number 2, Russia. Everywhere these guys go, the U.S. is going to go start a problem. And they're going to drag Canada, drag the EU.
I know that the Ebola thing, it's been confirmed now that it was started by a pharmaceutical company in Africa.
Hello, that's part of my designer disease series.
Well, there's that one. There's HIV was another one that came from the polio vaccine.
That's part 1 of the series.
Yeah, and like all of these great massive disease infections, and they're coming from virus or what do you call it?
Long-term treatment.
Yeah, and then I like see these science pages on Facebook, and they're posting all this like anti what do you call it? Antiviral stuff. What is that? The shot.
Vaccine.
They're posting all this stuff saying that, well, it's just not scientific that you wouldn't do a vaccine. And I'm like, okay, well, how is this for scientific? Almost all of these huge like outbreaks of diseases, super diseases, are happening because they're originating in places where they're testing these vaccines.
Exactly.
So how is that not scientific? Because that's observation, isn't it?
Absolutely. I agree.
So it sounds to me like even these sites, like I fucking love science, and I'm like, there's the skeptics one. They're getting paybacks, man. They're getting kickbacks for sure.
Of course. Look at our Obamacare.
Yeah, that's why they're doing it.
Our Obamacare system is made to bail out the freaking healthcare systems when it fails, and it's going to fail, and it's going up, and Obama just admitted that too. But going back to the vaccines over here last night, now I'm dating a registered nurse. She works in the school systems too, public schools, and she's actually now very alert to all these shots. Now she's telling people she will never get flu shots anymore. People are saying, she was telling me yesterday that mothers are coming in here saying, well, I never vaccinated my kids. She's like, good for you. And she's like, I'm glad you don't. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Now, what happened, it came out last night, they admitted the flu vaccine does not work. It does not work. Your immune systems are getting weaker, this and that. They said it. Because what just came out about a week ago or so, this girl who I'm seeing, the nurse, tagged me on Facebook with, that an entire naval vessel that was completely vaccinated, U.S.
I'll tell you something.
All got the entire ship.
Wow. Jesus.
Now
I'll tell you something. When it comes to SARS, remember SARS? Remember that shit?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Still hear it here and there.
Yeah. Well, hey, through the 6 degrees of separation, does anybody you know anybody that knows somebody else who actually had the SARS virus?
No.
I do know someone, actually.
Really?
You?
Yep. For real, dude.
For real?
I know someone. Yeah, absolutely. One of my friend's brothers, he worked in he basically worked in virus research stuff in a lab in Toronto, and he accidentally got it because he got exposed.
Wow. You know what, man? I'm going to say this for the record, that this is the first time I've ever heard anyone say that they actually know someone who had it. And not to say he didn't have it, and not to say it wasn't out there, but it's the media.
I think it may have actually been West Nile, not SARS.
No, I'm talking SARS specifically. The way it was
I don't remember anyone. Yeah, it was supposedly there was a bunch of people in Toronto. I was in Ontario at the time, so I never had anyone.
I was living in where the fuck was I when that was going down? It was Kitchener-Waterloo, and the hospital was shut down. Everybody's wearing masks. Well, it wasn't shut down. They just had the front doors locked, and then they had a weird way to get in the side door. It was all, it was very, very strange. But the thing was, is not a single person had SARS in Kitchener, but they still locked down the hospital, and you could see it on the news. Well, the mainstream media. I wasn't fully awake at the time, but I still had alternate sources of news. But my God, yeah, I mean, they were locking down airports, they were locking down hospitals, it was a friggin' mess, and it was all media spin, freaking people out.
That's what it always comes down to. But anyways, I gotta get running. Nice talking to you guys. I'll hop in on another one sometime.
All right, man. Good talking.
Hey, Bruce. Hey, thanks a lot for coming in, man. It's been nice talking to you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Hey, have a good time.
All right, man. Peace, mate.
That was good, man. Getting another person in here at least for a little bit.
Yeah.
No, because it's good to get it. I like to hear other people talking. That's what I would hope to get, like, I get jealous of you guys getting like red pill, man. But it's like I'm so bad with my notifications. Like, God forbid they sent me something.
Yeah, you know what? I was lucky enough to be invited into one of the round tables, and I said what I could. It was that particular night. I was on the road, so I actually had to go to a pub to use their Wi-Fi in order to do it. So, hey, man, all I can say is that waking people up is an easy business.
It's I tell people, like, I want to do my video of actually how I woke up, but I mean, it's like my way is kind of funny because, like I say, like where I work now, like I was getting to before earlier, was using unlimited data now. I mean, I listen to, I'm able not working in that NSA field anymore, where you're not allowed to have your cell phones there because they're afraid the outside world is tapping in and listening to everything. And I used to even say it then, I'm like, anybody who taps into this place is the government. Nobody else is eavesdropping on us. But it is like over 2 years.
They all are.
But like at my job now, so I listen to these things, and like I was tired of listening to the radio, even though I use the internet radio. And I was like, let me start listening to like some documentaries. Next thing you know, I'm listening to this, and then I started listening to that, and then I'm listening to alien stuff, like documentaries. And I'm hearing about the Eisenhower meeting the aliens, and then the military-industrial complex, and how this all came out. Then I heard it started going into DUMBs, deep underground military bases, and I'm like, what the hell? And I'm hearing all this, and then I'm like, all right. And then as I started going there, it's like the rabbit hole effect, because then I'm like, and it leads you all the way to all this other stuff. I'm not talking about aliens, like I'm kind of away from the alien part thing, but it's like, that's where you go, and it takes you there, and you go from Eisenhower, his speeches, you start going to the DUMBs, the people who are doing them, the guys getting killed for talking about the DUMBs, and supposedly aliens down there, blah, 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 but then the military, and I'm looking at the military, and I'm like, wait a second, now I'm going through all these things, now I'm getting into the Carter administration, now I found myself in this one. Then I start finding documentaries like, from Free Radio and other people like that, and that's where I started getting a real eye opening to what's going on today, and then I'm like, you know what, if all this kept going on today, what actually did happen more further back? And that's why I went so back in history, like I can go from history back to like late 1800s to like today.
Absolutely, man.
Like in May. I only woke up around May, the beginning of the summer. It's like you tell people, it's like, imagine what you know in a year.
It's funny you say, you mentioned the rabbit hole, and I tell you, my friend, the rabbit hole is motherfucking, it's got a huge fucking depth. And there's so much involved, and it could be a worldwide conspiracy. If I was to actually go and try and create an analogy that would be appropriate, I would say just watch Game of Thrones, because that's exactly what's happening.
I know so many people are obsessed with those things. I don't like watching series anymore like that because you get too drawn into them. I paid for top of the line cable so I could watch all the movie channels. I like movies. I cannot watch TV. And now since I'm awake, I cannot watch TV.
I can't watch TV. Well, because I'm on the road, I'm not watching TV. I only download a specific set of series of shows, and most of them aren't on cable TV. Like we're talking like things like HBO, whatnot. It's still network TV, I guess. I don't know, whatever. But specific shows, and I watch it for entertainment. I don't watch it. I don't watch it for.
Symbolism, and I hear the little innuendos that you're talking about. It's like, man, that's like, ugh. But sometimes. But I like seeing movies exposing this stuff. Like, I mean, I know I got the Spider-Man, the Avatar and stuff, like comic stuff. It's like that's what I was even telling these guys when I was first commenting on their videos. I was like, guys, please, don't take my Avatar wrong. I'm just a nerd. I'm 36 and I'm a nerd. I love it. I love comics, but I even just stopped reading comics. I mean, now I'm like, you said you're talking about the rabbit hole and watch Game of Thrones, but I mean, you know what though? You've probably
no.
Where I'm going with that, where I'm going to make a reference. Yeah, you probably read it in 1984. You probably read it, right?
Which?
1984.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I've never read it. I am actually more than halfway. I'm about 3/4 done reading it. I read it on my breaks at work. What freaks me out is reading this book. What's going on now? Exactly right now, I feel like I am reading the fucking playbook.
Hey, I just want to clear something up. When I said watch Game of Thrones, I'm using that as an analog for a bunch of fucking retards that are in power, that want to throw the rest of us into the mix for their own gain, and that's why I meant that's why I meant to say it.
The Hunger Games crap. I mean, that's even worse.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I think that definitely falls into the predictive programming schedule. Something's going on there with that. I don't know what, but that's definitely predictive programming.
Which one? I think it was Red Pill that made the video about the map overlays or Press Reset Earth. I can't remember which one did the map overlays that I saw. And I think it was I'm pretty sure I want to say Red Pill, but man, that freaked me out, man. I was like, what game? I was like, that's it, I'm done. I was like, I can't look at it. I was like, when he did the maps, then the 2050 map based on Rockefeller's friggin'
yeah, that's my phone. That's my ring. That's my ringtone.
Well, yeah, I mean, you see these things as nuts, man. I mean, that's why I tell people too. My first bunch of videos, I refuse to give anybody links. I told people go look it up. Don't believe me. I want you to go look. And now I started putting some links to some of the things you might not find too easily, or they change them up.
Yeah.
And the good thing too about being awake, once you're awake, you can call it out. I did that before they did the Eric Garner verdict here. You know what I'm talking about, right? In New York.
Enlighten me. Enlighten everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah, the chokehold victim.
Oh, okay. Go on.
All right. So I mean, I made a video that morning. That Wednesday, I made sure I came home and did it, and I even said it because I wasn't afraid to say it, and I put it on a record, and I posted it all over the place after that. I came out, I made this video, and I called out that the verdict, it's going to come back, no indictment, and I said it just like this. I said, I want you people to know right now, I said it here, Matty D for Truth said it right here. If there is no indictment, it is completely orchestrated. And the reasons why I said why in my video, I think you've probably seen it, is I said, what do you get, right? Let's follow the pattern here. President Obama visits the CDC middle of September. No president ever does that, right? No president visits the CDC. 2 weeks later, you get Ebola. President Obama meets with the protesters in Ferguson and says, stay the course. And even the TV personnel was like, what the hell is he talking about, telling these people stay the course? What is he referencing to? You get riots and a stand down that night. A stand down.
Yeah. And a bill that also passed, I don't know how many $1 billion worth of equipment that was surplus military gear that just got handed over to the state, different states' police.
And more to New York now too, because this is what I said. This is where the prediction came. On December 1st, Who does he call over to the White House to discuss Ferguson? Mayor de Blasio and freaking Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton and Mayor de Blasio's black wife, de Blasio's white, if you don't know, because I know you're from Canada, he's white. His black wife runs his ass. She is his puppet master, hand right up there, running his show, and she is in cahoots with Al Sharpton. Even my sister was telling me this, and she doesn't like hearing all this stuff that I tell her. She doesn't want to know. And she was telling me about these things, filling me in. And he have ties to Obama.
Maddie, does it piss you off that Canadians know more about Americans than Americans know about Canadians?
It pisses me off that anybody that's not in the United States knows more about it that doesn't.
Yeah, okay.
What pisses me off more is when you do tell people, and they're like, you're crazy. Yeah. Or they're like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist? I'm like, no, I'm a truther. I go for the truth. Yeah. And he goes, well, and then I tell him these things, like, oh, you're crazy. I'm like, go look it up. I don't want to look it up. I don't want to know. I'm like, well, then you got no argument. And I tell people, if what you got for defense is what you hear on the news, I'm like, power.
I heard a great one the other day. That shit just irritates me.
Which one?
No, somebody, I went and started playing some truth videos. Yeah. And a friend of mine was just like, he goes, that shit pisses me off. I got no interest in that.
No, it does. That's what I said. Some people get really mad. Some people freak out. I mean, some people are like, it's way too much. Way too much.
Shut down.
You know, how they, I mean, come on. The University of Nebraska here in Omaha created jihadi textbooks and teacher kit guides to ship over to Afghanistan to start training kids, violent freaking images, and all this stuff. And they caught it in like 2002, and only one publishing went on it, and that was the Washington Times, and it was been erased. And I found a mirror image of it, and I did a video on that too, and I made all that. It's just you know, these are the things people need to see. That I think that once you go there, that's how they can get more up to today, because you're like, you know what, we were doing these things. We all knew we did these things. Of course they were training Bin Laden and these guys to fight the Soviets. That's knowledge, but wait, those are the guys that turned out to be Al-Qaeda. Now, what's Al-Qaeda now and Taliban and, wait a second, ISIS, IL? I mean, it's non-stop.
Well, everything that happened before, back in the very early 2000s, late 1990s, all of that was to destabilize the Russians. We saw the fall of the Soviet Empire. There's one thing that nobody, and yes, I'm throwing this out there, there's one thing that nobody can say that they've heard, and that's the fall of the British Empire. It hasn't fallen. It is still reigning supreme. I'm gonna throw this out there because as a British colony, I think Canada has been instrumental in affecting your country of America, and worked, because we were the friendly friends north, peacekeepers all over the planet right after World War II, by the way, which we were involved in before you were, and now we're just the friendly guys up north with funny accents. Now we're militarizing. Now we got expensive shit, and we're still a British colony. I swore allegiance to the Queen first, and our Prime Minister second, and then everyone else when I joined the military.
Oh wow, they made you pledge to the Queen. Let's see.
And I had to listen to God Save the Queen while I pledged my allegiance. So I mean, I'm telling you right now that I think their plan worked. And now they're militarizing, and that's why now they're going after the EU. And
I mean, but look at UK. I mean, UK has been talking about they want to separate. I mean, they got a campaign going on. It's like
you're talking about Scotland.
Well, no, Scotland too. I mean, Scotland now they want to re-vote again, but UK themselves, David Cameron was even saying, because they were busting David Cameron. Now the people want David Cameron out. I mean, they got a Twitter campaign going to get Cameron out. They can't stand him anymore. The kids out there protesting in London, they want free education. I mean, it's just, the whole thing is just spreading. It's spreading.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry, man, but I mean to say that David David Cameron is a parliamentary politician, no different than Stephen Harper in our parliament, and quite frankly, we are still part of the monarchy, and I think it's all smoke and mirrors, man. It's all fucking bullshit.
Let me ask you something. From you being up in Canada, I mean, do you know the journalist Benjamin Fulford?
Not offhand, no.
No? Well, yeah, he came from Ottawa. I didn't even know he was from Ottawa until after the Ottawa hoax, and he came out with videos condemning it, and he was calling it all out. He even referenced those pictures, too, from the Facebook that Free Radio had on and all that stuff. And he's a journalist that basically they tried to kill him like 6 times.
Really?
For exposing a lie. He's living in Japan now under Japan's protection in the White Dragon Society. I mean, he does videos. I've been hearing things. I mean, I don't like to reference him too much because his videos, well, he has a website, but you got to pay to get the full article. But, I mean, other people do it with those AI readers, and you can hear it on YouTube. And some of the things he said they basically, Stephen Harper just basically signed his own arrest warrant with that UN bill. That he's also referencing to the militaries here to remember your oaths, that that these guys got to go. He also threatened that if they aren't taken out soon, that my East Coast is going to get hit with tsunami bombs.
You lost me when you said that he makes money off of people.
Well, no, it's not like he doesn't make money, but for the website that publishes his article, they only show you a portion of it. So you have to pay. It's like cheap to get the one that publishes.
So is he hired? So is he hired by the website, and they ask other people for money?
Well, it doesn't really matter because, like I was saying, you get it for free off YouTube. I mean, you
get it for free. Okay.
I get the articles.
So he's got sponsorship somehow. Okay. Yeah, no, I wanted to kind of figure that out because I always have skepticism when money's involved. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but no, you can get the free ones off the YouTube, and it gives you all the links too that he's referencing in the article. It's whoever's putting that article for him, like doing the article, is you just got to join the website. But I don't want to join it. It's really not a lot of money. It's a couple bucks, but I mean, it's like. For an article that comes out every like 2 weeks sometimes, but some of the stuff I listen to, I knew was happening before it happened, so that's why I still do listen to it. I was telling people about things like they're like, well, how do you know Obama's going to China in November and it's only the end of August? I'm like, well, I heard it.
I also want to. Sorry, I feel like I might have misspoke there too. I'm not saying that it's not okay to seek retribution for your efforts and start a website and get money. So, yeah, I don't want anyone to think that. That's not what I'm saying. When somebody wants to capitalize, and now let's enter Alex Jones or somebody, you know what I mean, or Infowars. Like,
I mean, yeah, Alex Jones he does, but I mean, he self-runs. I mean, but he does give some good political stuff though.
He's good for people who are just waking up to get them on the right path. But
he was one of the ones I started listening to when I did wake up. But then I was also, once the Ebola came, I was like, wait a second, man. Now he's really pitching a lot of Ebola. A lot. And then Free Radio started calling it out. And that's why I started going more towards the YouTube.
Yeah.
He is a bit. He is. And lately, the last 2 days, all it is about Eric Garner and police brutalities and stuff. But they did give me a good thing with the New American that came out that actually showed that Obama actually never, those of you who live here, those of you in America, I mean, I'm going to show you the title right now. If people stay on here watching this stuff to the 2 hours we're up to right now, I'll just show you real quick that he actually never signed the amnesty order, America. It was confirmed. He never signed it. He said it. He never signed it. It's not in the archives. It was never filed.
People will watch this later, by the way. Don't worry. Yeah.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
We had 2 viewers, and it went down to 1 viewer. Hey.
Yep, they reported this on Wednesday, WND. This is from Drudge Report. I mean, he never filed it. He just did the photo op for it where he was signing it. Nobody can find any record of it in the archives. You should be able to see all the executive orders. Nobody could find it. And he has, right now he has 17 states suing him. Last, I do not know.
Yeah, but like, you know, there's 2 historical events that have taken place within the last decade that are real. Actually, I should say within the last 5 years, and it's Harper, our prime minister, shut down Parliament for a period of time, and at another point in time, shut down Congress, and like. Democratic systems shouldn't be shut downable, if you know what I mean.
No, they shouldn't. I mean, and that's what I'm even talking too about with America. I mean, people. I mean, we voted, and Boehner and all them came out saying, "Oh, we're going to challenge him. We're not going to let him do his executive orders and amnesty." And they let him do it, and they gave him funding to last until September of 2015. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Media blackout. That's why I don't know why anybody watches the TV.
They can't stop. They can't stop.
The only time I see it is at the gym, and thank God it's muted. I just read the headlines. And if for 2 hours I'm at the gym, every half-hour segment that changes is the same one. Same.
You know, I've actually seen on CNN more shows, like reality TV shows, and stuff that really isn't news, and it's supposed to be news, but no, you tune in and you're getting entertained instead. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's what I tell people too. You know what though? It really is. What really amazes me is that more and more people are awake. I can talk to more people in the gym now, and people actually can talk back.
Yeah, you know, you're right. You're right. A lot of people are waking up for sure.
Yeah, they really are at an alarming rate. And one guy who I talked to, he's actually been texting me a few things, but he's not really too awake. Older guy, he's a Vietnam vet. I see at the gym. He was telling me last weekend on Sunday that he goes, you know, Batty, I got to tell you that he goes, people have been telling me they've been listening to you tell me the things you tell me, and you're like, they actually enjoy listening to you tell it. Because they're just amazed by it and they can't believe it. And then they go home and are looking it up.
Wow,
I said, that's good. I said, that's good.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, but that's great.
I go in there pissed sometimes. Like, I can't stand this shit. Ah! I didn't even get my workout going on. I'm like, thank God I work out. I go 7 days a week so I can go in here and bullshit.
Yeah, man. No, yeah, but hey, true story, man. Fucking, there's a lot more people that are waking up, and it's happening all over, bit by bit, slowly and slowly. But you know, if you wake up one person and that person goes up and wakes up another person, you do realize that this happens at an exponential basis. Because it's also backwards. It's also backwards compatible because you could wake up a crowd of people and then suddenly the people that are directly in your circle, they wake up too. And they're like, holy fuck, I had no idea what you were saying was actually true.
That's why I tell people in my videos too. I'm like, yo guys, you got to share this, man. Talk about it. I just started using Twitter. I never really used Twitter ever before. I still don't understand how to use Twitter.
Yeah.
It was short and weird, but I mean, I started using it, bam, started picking up followers. And I have to say, I saw on, InfoWars, because, I mean, to listen to a live radio while I'm at work that's on the internet, I will listen to them. But, like, the last 2 days I've been blocking them out a bit with the Eric Garner stuff. But then, like I said, I got some good stuff today that they actually did say some good news about Obama and what's going on with our government. But, it's good to listen to something like that just to keep yourself going. And when you do these things, you can collect little bits and pieces from other things you hear too, and you can see where they intertwine. And that's how I tell you, that's where you can start picking up your own prediction part and saying, like, I knew it, or I told you. I only told you so I didn't look crazy, but now tell me I was wrong.
Yeah. Now, you know, it's funny you say that because, like, people call us crazy, but look at these people. They're crazy. They're crazy to live that
That's what I say. That's why I like when I say it before it, and I'm like, what am I now? What am I, a precog conspiracy theorist? I can tell you before it happens, conspiracy theorist? Come on. It's just that I can see it now. You see it once you don't look at that box.
Yeah. Yeah, and stop drinking the fluoride and the whole whack of other shit too. No, but you know what's funny is that there is a multi-pronged approach to what's taking place. It's I know it's hard, like, for people to wrap their heads around, because here's the funny thing is that they watch these shows that have very complex plot lines, which are very difficult to follow, and a lot of moving parts and a lot of things going around in motion, and some whip pan and camera moments and stuff, and they still stay on board. But you go and suggest anything like we're talking about to them, and then they lose their shit. They're like, whoa, 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 slow down.
I had one guy that told me.
Slow down, JJ. Whoa.
I had one guy tell me he did. He started looking and he started getting pissed off. And I'm like, I know. I go, I did too. But then after a while, when you start seeing things that's going on with now and you can see it, you calm down a bit, but you won't be afraid to talk about it. When people say to me, like, well, you can't do anything about it. No. I'm like, no. That's the attitude that allows the things to keep going. It's we the people, read the paper, read your birth certificate, we the people. I go, and when you talk, other people will talk. And when you say, or just one little thing, I'm like, just look at what this guy told me about and look what I found. That's how you start getting it around and it goes viral. What they are doing right now is, and I tell people with this racist stuff, this is nothing about race. If you want to talk about police brutality, go look up the mixed videos. You see, I mean, white guys have been beaten to death. Freaking homeless guys are sleeping here just getting shot just because a cop said he was going to shoot and kill him. I mean, and they get off. They are using the race divide and conquer to keep your focus off of the real agendas of what they're doing. And that's why we're not covering that stuff.
That's what I was saying. They're getting us all spun out of shape talking about the what instead of the why.
Yeah, I'll give you one example. I made the video about it, and I think you might have seen it too. And for people that use one perfect example, when we were waiting for
play it. I'm gonna go take a piss, and play that video.
Yeah, I gotta find. Well, I'm on my page.
I'm gonna go take that piss anyway. Yeah. I've been kind of doing the chair dance.
No, it's all right, man, because I was going to get off in a couple more minutes anyway, because my dog just came upstairs too, and I realized it's after 7 too over here. But I mean, but real quick, I mean, it's just let me I'll pull up my screen share one more time so I get to show you and people that what I'm trying to do is also do a video that I'm going to do a video to show what my videos are actually referencing too. So, I mean, you can see here, like, no indictment charges equals federal over local control. While you guys are thinking it's all racism, what are they actually talking about? They want to completely federalize the entire police. They're giving all more money and actually more weapons to you guys when you look at it. And this one, too, where I said if at first you don't succeed, try again. Because they didn't win the viral race war riots going on across the country. You had riots in Ferguson, and peaceful protesting everywhere else.
Yeah.
And when you start going through this stuff, I mean, I even gave people a video just to do random Google searching. Ferguson narratives of a coached war. I mean, it is completely coached. You cannot make this stuff up because it's just right there in the playbooks. I mean, and you can see it when you go onto these videos. I mean, anybody wants to go onto my channel and check them, but
you can as far as Ferguson is related, I mean, you can go into the new Black Panther movement. You can go into the Anonymous.
Actually, that's what this one actually, the Ferguson narratives of a coached war actually does reference all that and show you where Eric Holder with Obama, once they got empowered, the power was now in the black man. They released Malik Shabazz, the leader of the freaking, the leader of the new Black Panther Party, who got arrested with bombs, right? Trying to buy bombs for the second round of riots, but yet he was there hand in hand with that black state trooper in Ferguson the first time around.
It's a fucking setup.
The whole thing is. I mean,
it stinks. It smells really bad because, there's no mistake, and it's not a coincidence. These aren't isolated events. This is a coordinated attack on your human fucking rights, people.
Yeah, and that's why I'm sorry. These guys are not about your civil rights. Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton are about race baiting. They're about inducing your freaking anger and get out there getting pissed. Louis Farrakhan, too. I mean, people don't even know who he is. And it's like, you know what? Go look up Louis Farrakhan. I showed him in my videos, too, Louis Farrakhan. I mean, this guy's telling you to teach your babies to go throw Molotov cocktails. Start killing them. And then soon we can sit down and talk. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, he's here. He's an American black man that's an Islamist preacher. And he's allowed to say that, but Christian preachers cannot talk about homosexuality as a sin.
You know, I'm 1/4 Native. I'm 1/4 Kitimat Native, and I'll tell you something. I'm not pissed off about the near genocide of my quarter of my people, but I'm also British, Polish, and German. So, yeah, I'm like the United Colors of Benetton here. You know what I mean? But just to be clear, though, is that what the fuck does it matter? What the fuck does it matter anyway? You got the old days, the blacks in America that were stolen from Africa, and you have slavery, the near genocide of the native population of North America. Oh, what about the slaughters in Greece and all these other countries where and Genghis Khan? Hey, well, luckily those people got fucking killed off, so they can't bitch about it later. But I'm saying, get the fuck over it, because we're all slaves now. All of us, every single last one of us, now we're slaves to a different system. Oh, actually, to the same system.
Yeah, we are, because the whole thing is universal. That's why I even think like some parts of Russia probably isn't on this stuff, and some parts of everything else going on is on this. It's just I don't know anymore. I mean, so much of it is just it's insane. I mean, when you start funneling through a lot of the stuff and it takes you this way, that way. I mean, it's just your head spins. And when you try to tell people too, I mean, you lose your voice.
Yeah. Well, luckily I got a loud voice.
Yeah, you do. I mean, mine actually, I never really had a throat problem or anything until you hear it. I mean, from doing all these videos lately and talking.
Actually, no. You sound quite well. You sound good.
Yeah, I can feel it though. I can feel it in there. I'm sending you those links right now that we were showing the Eric Holder stuff. I just sent you those things. And then I'll post them to the video, too. I am going to get going, though. It's been 2 hours, man. But good talking, man. Like I said, people can go on forever. Ever.
Oh, we've only scratched the surface, and there's so many, intricate bits. Yeah, I mean, you even went on about aliens. I could talk to you for days about aliens. So
yeah,
but we got it's we got to be gentle. We got to be gentle to people.
Yeah, I'm more worried about keeping my country right now.
I'll tell you something. I hear you. I hear you on that, and I hear what you mean. But quite frankly, now I don't even recognize borders, and it's weird because I've been traveling across Canada since September from BC. I'm in Regina right now in Saskatchewan, and I'm going to be in Ontario in about 15 days. And I live on the road. I live out of my truck, and if I'm lucky, I get a place I can set up my little multimedia studio. So yeah, I'm on the road. And by the way, I'm not financed. I actually literally have no money until I work and make some money. So I'm literally doing this completely and totally off the cuff, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I hear you.
But
well, just think about this, man. I mean, this is my biggest fear is, I mean, besides being hit with tsunami, atomic bombs, which is actually one theory that actually did happen to Fukushima. That was actually a terror attack. If people look that up, they keep ripping down the seismic graph, and I've seen it. and I didn't show where it's in the video, the seismograph. But getting away from that because I got to go. It's just that I'm afraid of all this hacking talk that they're going to just completely say, well, the entire financial system, the power grids all got attacked, and all your money's gone, people. Everything you had on everything that was there is wiped out, and you're screwed. And here come the riots, and here come people trying to steal all your shit and friggin' busting into places, and here comes the UN to save everybody. That's my one thing. And also the people getting so pissed off that we're going to want to go to war. That's my thing. That's what I'm afraid of. That's where my new rabbit hole is kind of steering me, because they keep talking about all this hacking stuff. But at the same time, I think they're also throwing so many things out there because they don't even know what they're going to do yet.
There are two new frontiers for warfare. Well, one of them's not so new, but one not so new and one very new one. One is space, and the other one is the internet, which is, it's funny. I know you got to go, but people talk about multi-dimensions, like philosophically speaking. The internet is its own dimension. Within our 5 or 4 dimensional space that we perceive, we created another one within that. So technically, we have a 5-dimensional survivability in a sense. Well, unless we die in the other 3rd dimension, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But that's going to be the new frontier. It's
the way it should go. And actually, that's one of the last reports that the Benjamin Fulford one said, was that the military needs to remember their oath, and we should be arresting these people. We should be starting to venture into our Star Trek type of era of exploring space and spreading out.
Yeah.
That's one of the things he said. But all right, and then with that, we'll have to do another one another time. Hopefully, we get some more other people in here, because I want to hear some other people too. I love hearing different things, new things all the time too.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
I think we go back and forth on so many things around the world. But yeah, I'm gonna get going though, man. I'll catch up with you again, dude, definitely, and I'll try to keep up with my notifications. And anybody who checks this out, check out.
Absolutely. And I'll try to make more videos. Like I said, it's kind of a little bit hard to do things while I'm on the road, but there's a lot more to come from me, and I'll follow you, man.
Did you watch that? Did you watch that Vimeo? Did you watch that Vimeo video? Broly, did you see that?
I watched a few of yours. I haven't watched all of them though. You actually have a lot more than I do.
No, I go check your Ukrainian videos. I posted another comment on it. Broly, give me one.
Yeah. I haven't been able to check that one out.
Yeah, check that, because like I said, my sister's best friend Ukrainian. She sent me that stuff because I've been showing her all the Ukrainian stuff on my Facebook. And out of the blue, she hits me up showing me that a friend of hers, Ukrainian, traveled there. So he's got, it's really, really graphic. And he's doing his own documentary that's going to be coming out soon. I told her to keep me posted on that, because I'd really love to get that uploaded on my alternate channel. And yeah, you should really check that out, because he started going over there in like 2004 and stuff, because of his country. Being born and raised here near me in Jersey, now living in New York, and he went there a couple times, and it was sick. Hey, talking about the sniper rifle shooting to people. He's got all the video live himself.
I think both your dog and myself have to pee. So.
Yeah, he's barking at something out the window, but.
Oh, okay.
Yourself, dude. But yeah, check that video out. It was in one of your comments I posted on there.
Okay, yeah. You know what? I've bookmarked it. I haven't checked that one out yet. So, anyway, I gotta go pee. All right, buddy. Hey, man. Peace. Well, guys, thanks for listening. This is Robert Morris signing out. Peace.